Across the United States, Black heritage trails preserve the stories, landmarks, and legacies that shaped African American history and culture. From colonial settlements to neighborhoods that birthed civil rights movements, these trails honor the resilience, creativity, and leadership of Black communities. Together, they form a living map of achievement, inviting travelers to walk the same paths where courage, faith, and freedom took root. Stretching 54 miles, this trail follows the route of the 1965 Selma to Montgomery marches for voting rights, led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil rights leaders. Key stops include the Edmund Pettus Bridge, where Bloody Sunday occurred, and the National Voting Rights Museum. This route is both a driving trail and a pilgrimage site, symbolizing the triumph of courage and resilience against systemic oppression. Along the way, interpretive centers provide context about the civil rights movement. Many visitors describe walking or driving the route as a deeply emotional and transformative journey. This urban trail links nearly 30 sites across Columbus, Georgia, showcasing the contributions of African Americans from slavery through the civil rights era. Stops include the Ma Rainey House, celebrating the mother of the blues, and markers about Black educational and religious institutions. It is one of the South's most comprehensive urban African American history trails. Local organizations also host events along the trail, making it a living part of the city's cultural identity. It's a favorite for both residents and tourists who want to experience Black history in an accessible format. The Mississippi Blues Trail features more than 200 markers across Mississippi and neighboring states, celebrating legendary artists such as B.B. King, Muddy Waters, and Robert Johnson. Each marker tells a story of how African American creativity shaped one of America's most influential art forms. The trail extends from juke joints to recording studios and festivals, tracing the music's journey from the Mississippi Delta to the world stage. Beyond music, it reveals the resilience, migration, and cultural innovation of Black life in the Deep South, connecting generations through rhythm, struggle, and soul. The New Hampshire Trail connects Portsmouth to other sites in the state, telling the stories of Africans and African Americans in New England from the colonial era through today. Portsmouth's waterfront community had a significant population of enslaved Africans in the 18th century, and the trail highlights both their struggles and their legacies, including notable figures like Ona Judge, who escaped enslavement from George Washington's household. The trail now extends beyond Portsmouth, reaching into Concord and other towns. Educational programs and guided tours connect these historic sites to broader conversations about race in New England. It serves as a reminder that African American history is deeply interwoven with northern states as well as the South. The African American experience celebrates the lives and legacies of African Americans in the North Carolina's northeastern counties and the Outer Banks. This trail links historic churches, schools, businesses, cemeteries, and cultural landmarks that reveal stories of resilience, achievement, and community building. From sites tied to the Underground Railroad to coastal towns shaped by Black mariners and entrepreneurs, the trail highlights contributions that have often gone untold. By showcasing this heritage, this history trail encourages a deeper understanding of the region's cultural significance and fosters more inclusive communities that honor the role of African Americans in shaping North Carolina's history. The Boston Black Heritage Trail is a 1.6-mile walking tour through Beacon Hill, one of the oldest Black communities in the U.S. The trail includes 14 historic sites, such as the African Meeting House, the oldest Black church building still standing in the U.S., and the Abiel Smith School, the first public school for African American children. Managed by the National Park Service, this trail vividly tells the story of free African Americans before the Civil War and their fight for equality. Guided tours are often led by rangers or community historians, adding rich storytelling to the experience. Visitors come away with a deeper sense of Boston's overlooked African American legacy. This statewide driving trail highlights Louisiana's African American history, including Congo Square in New Orleans, the roots of jazz, historic plantations, museums, and cultural centers. Sites include the Whitney Plantation, the River Road African American Museum, and historically Black colleges. The trail underscores Louisiana's role as a cradle of African American culture. Because it spans the state, travelers can experience a range of stories from rural plantations to vibrant city neighborhoods. Music, cuisine, and cultural traditions bring the history alive in a way that few other trails can match. Alexandria's Heritage Trail winds through the historic waterfront and Old Town, highlighting sites such as the Freedom House Museum and the Contrabands and Freedmen Cemetery Memorial. Interpretive signs tell the stories of the free and enslaved African Americans who lived, worked, and resisted oppression in the city before, during, and after the Civil War. The trail is divided into multiple routes, making it easy to explore in shorter sections. Annual commemorations and walking tours are popular with visitors and residents alike. This trail powerfully connects Alexandria's colonial past to its vibrant present-day Black community. Florida's Black Heritage Trail is a statewide network of over 150 landmarks, highlighting African American history from the colonial era to the civil rights movement. Sites include Fort Mose Historic State Park near St. Augustine, the nation's first free Black settlement, the Mary McLeod Bethune Home in Daytona Beach, Jacksonville's Ritz Theater and Museum, and the Lincolnville Historic District, a hub of 1960s civil rights activism. Managed by the Florida Division of Historical Resources, the trail is supported by guidebooks and online resources. Visitors experience Florida's rich Black legacy of freedom, resilience, and cultural achievement across centuries. New Jersey Black Heritage Trail is a statewide initiative linking historic sites that honor African American resilience and achievement. The trail features landmarks such as Hinchliffe Stadium in Paterson, one of the last remaining Negro League ballparks. The T. Thomas Fortune Cultural Center in Red Bank, home of the pioneering Black journalist. The Dr. James Still Historic Office in Medford, dedicated to the Black Doctor of the Pines. And the Cayden Avenue Baptist Church in Camden, a hub of community life and faith. Through markers and storytelling, the trail shines a light on New Jersey's rich and often overlooked Black heritage. New York's Black Heritage Trail experiences thread through the state's major cities and counties, illuminating African American life, struggle, and creativity. In New York City, the Black Heritage Trail highlights the African Burial Ground National Monument, historic Black churches, Fraunces Tavern, and sites of early Black business and activism. In Westchester County, the African American Heritage Trail includes the J Estate in Rye, St. Paul's Church in Mount Vernon, and the Chappaqua Friends Meeting House, anchoring stories from slavery, abolition, and Black leadership. On Staten Island, the Sandy Ground Historic District preserves the oldest continuously inhabited free Black community in the U.S. These trails offer powerful insights into New York's overlooked Black legacies. California African American Freedom Trail traces more than 400 sites across the San Francisco Bay Area that chronicle the struggles, triumphs, and cultural legacy of African Americans in California. Notable stops include the Mary Ellen Pleasant Memorial Park on Nob Hill, the African American Museum and Library in Oakland, and the historic Palace Hotel, site of the 1964 civil rights sit-ins. The trail also connects to Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park, the only California town founded, financed, and governed by African Americans. Together, these landmarks illuminate a powerful story of entrepreneurship, activism, and community building on the West Coast. Vermont's Black Heritage Trail recognizes the state's role in abolition and the enduring contributions of Black residents. It features sites like the Rokeby Museum in Ferrisburg, once a major stop on the Underground Railroad, and markers honoring early free Black communities across the state. The trail highlights how Vermont's progressive stance on slavery intersected with the daily lives of African Americans in New England, from farmsteads and schools to places of worship. Visitors gain insight into how the state's ideals of freedom and justice were shaped by, and in turn shaped Black presence and perseverance. Martha's Vineyard's African American Heritage Trail features nearly 30 commemorative sites across the island, each marked by a bronze plaque honoring Black history, leadership, and culture. Highlights include the Dorothy West home in Oak Bluffs celebrating the Harlem Renaissance writer, the Adam Clayton Powell Cottage, summer retreat of the influential congressman, Villa Rosa, once a hub for civil rights organizing, and the William A. Martin Homestead in Edgartown, home to the island's first African-American whaling captain. Managed by a nonprofit foundation, the trail preserves memory while inspiring visitors to explore the island's deep and enduring Black legacy.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed until the end. Thank you for spending time with us, and don't forget to like this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Bye for now. We will see you tomorrow.
Like we're not going